In what has become a staple in Frederick County, the Delaplane Visual Arts Education Center is hosting the Frederick All-County Student Exhibit, a dynamic collection of artwork that shows off the many talents of all of our students.
When I was in middle school, I actually got into drawing anime, and what I liked about it was that I could take all these different ideas in my head and put them down on paper. In my concentration, my visual art concerns have to do with proportion and color, and how color affects how we perceive. The title of this one is called The Passion of V Symphonia, and what I wanted to show is that she has this passion for singing and for expressing herself, and I feel like it's this kind of creative passion needs to be with all of us.
Our assignment, as you can see up there, was to make a cave painting of some of the things that cavemen have done during their past time. Mine is the arrows, because the arrows represent war, or either war or hunting. I like it because you get to do lots of different shapes and architecture.
She told us that we had to do an Andy Warhol inspired painting. How you have an exact replica and you have really bright colors next to each other. I like pink and blue, and when they look together, they kind of give a nice, really look. I guess I like how they're all next to each other and they're all colorful, and they just kind of look like his, just a different picture.
The assignment was to take a creature out of nature, an animal or human, and turn it mechanical. So you would make the body form, and then you would add gears, wires, and such to make it look very metallic, mechanical, almost unnatural. It was definitely a struggle, but most of it was done by hollowing out. Like, I did most of the form. I started off with the feet, and then I ventured up into the body, then the head, and the ears were the last to go because ears are normally the most fragile. I bought a lot of wire to fill all the negative space inside. I put wire inside the legs to look like muscles, and then inside the skull right here, I actually made like a wire brain and like some wires going everywhere, so it almost like he's thinking all the time. The tail is my favorite part. It's like all frailed out, just like the hair. I just kept on going, and I didn't stop. I kept on thinking of new things to incorporate, and it just kind of evolved with me.
It was to create an animal, watercolor animal with pastel over top of pastel. Well, they're usually orange and yellow, so I made one orange and one yellow, because if I just made them all yellow or all orange, it just looked like a big blobby blob of nothing. Well, I like how I evenly spaced the smoke clouds to the ligers, how thick they are and how it's overlapping that. I couldn't make any smoke clouds in front of it because that would be going over top of it, and then the colors would mix.
We had to do a piece modeled after Matisse, actually, and so we had to draw a person with a hat, outline it with black glue, and then paint it with watercolors. I used oranges and purple for the background, just being creative and outgoing, I suppose, and be bright, and the colors emphasize, the creativeness.
The assignment was to make a cherry blossom tree. We made it to be a sign of spring is coming. Well, the trunk is made out of ink. We use straws, and we blowed through the straws, and it went splattering everywhere. I believe that it's asymmetrical, and I learned that Japan is where cherry blossoms come from, and they like asymmetrical artwork. And when I learned that, I wanted to make it as much asymmetrical as I could.